Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a pretty revolutionary way to garden that promises healthier plants and, get this, a lot less work. And it's all about working with nature, not against it. The results? They're truly incredible. You know, this quote from gardener Paul Gauci just nails the frustration so many of us feel, right? You're constantly tilling, you're weeding, you're fertilizing. It can feel like you're locked in this endless battle with your own backyard. But what if that whole battle is completely unnecessary? I mean, really, this one question is at the heart of a huge shift in thinking. It suggests we can flip the script entirely, stop being a garden warrior and start being a garden partner, just by understanding how nature already does its thing. So where's the magic? Well, the big secret here isn't in some fancy fertilizer or complicated technique. Nope, it's in what supports everything. The living, breathing world right there beneath your feet. The soil. And this is what we call regenerative gardening. See, it's a step beyond just sustaining what you have. The whole goal is to actively heal and restore the soil, making it more alive, more fertile, and way more resilient every single year. And you do it by copying the playbook of nature itself. And check this out. A single teaspoon of healthy soil has over 7 billion microorganisms in it. That's more living creatures than there are people on the entire planet. In one single teaspoon. This isn't just dirt, it's a universe. So how in the world do we foster that universe? Well, it turns out nature has a surprisingly simple playbook. And for our gardens, it really just boils down to 4 powerful, easy-to-follow rules. Okay, rule number 1, and this one is huge. Stop disturbing the soil. That means, yes, putting away the rototiller for good. Now, I know that might sound totally counterintuitive, but it's absolutely essential. Let's take a look at why. And this shows you the 2 sides of the coin perfectly. Every time you till, you are unleashing the equivalent of a tornado on that underground city of microbes. You're just destroying their homes and all those intricate networks they build. The no-dig method, it does the exact opposite. You just layer organic matter on top, and you let nature's own tillers, the worms, the microbes, do all the work for you. Rule number 2 is simple. Keep the soil covered. I mean, think about it. When you walk through a forest, you never see bare dirt, right? Nature never leaves soil bare, and neither should we. Bare soil is vulnerable soil. It loses moisture, it erodes, and it's basically a welcome mat for weeds. And this is where mulch becomes your absolute best friend. A nice, thick layer of organic material like wood chips or leaves or compost. It acts like a blanket. It locks in all that precious moisture, it smothers the weeds, and most importantly, it slowly breaks down, constantly feeding that teeming world of life in your soil. This quote really drives the point home. Wood chips especially are just incredible at holding on to moisture. A thick layer can drastically reduce and in some cases even eliminate the need for you to water once your plants are established. It's a game changer. Okay, rule number 3 is to think like a forest, not a farm field. Planting just one type of crop in a big patch, what we call a monoculture, is basically sending out an open invitation for pests and diseases to come have an all-you-can-eat buffet. So instead, you want to mix it all up. That's polyculture. Planting a diverse mix of vegetables, herbs, and flowers creates this beautiful, resilient, and frankly, confusing environment for pests. For example, planting fragrant basil next to your tomatoes can actually help hide their scent from hornworms. This diversity also brings in the good guys, the beneficial insects, creating a balanced, healthy ecosystem that takes care of itself. And finally, rule number 4. You gotta keep the party going underground all year long. Bare soil in the fall and winter? That's just a massive missed opportunity. Living roots are the engine of soil regeneration. They're constantly pumping sugars down there to feed all those hungry microbes. And you can do this in 2 really key ways. First, plant perennials. They come back every year, establishing these deep, permanent root systems. And then, in your annual beds, use cover crops like clover or rye during the off-season. They protect the soil and just keep pumping life into it, even when you're not harvesting a thing. So, you follow nature's 4 rules. What's the reward? Well, the payoff is incredible. You get a garden that starts to take care of itself. It becomes more productive with less, and I mean less and less, effort from you each year. And this works whether you have a few pots on the patio or a full 50 by 50 foot plot. And these aren't just theories. These are real-world results. You're going to spend way less time watering and weeding. you can ditch the chemical fertilizers and pesticides for good, and the food you grow, it will be more nutritious and it will taste better, all because it's coming from truly living soil. I mean, to put that into perspective, check out this number. For every 1% increase in your soil's organic matter, a single acre of land can hold an extra 20,000 gallons of water. It literally turns your garden into a giant sponge. All right, it's a fair question, and it's the one everybody asks. If we're not tilling and we're not spraying chemicals, won't weeds and pests just completely take over the whole garden? The answer, pretty surprisingly, is no. So first off, that thick layer of mulch we talked about, it prevents most weed seeds from ever even seeing the light of day. And for the few that do manage to sprout, the soil is so soft and loose that they just pull right out, root and all, with almost no effort. It actually becomes kind of satisfying. And as for the pests, well, the principle here is that insects are primarily drawn to plants that are stressed out and dehydrated. A healthy, vigorous plant that's growing in this kind of system is full of water and nutrients. To most bugs, it's simply not an appealing meal. So you can see, this approach is about so much more than just growing better tomatoes. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with the land, even if it's just a small backyard plot. It really transforms you from being just a gardener into being a land steward. It's a total mindset shift from just extracting resources to actively healing and caring for your little piece of the earth, contributing to a healthier ecosystem for everyone. And this leaves us with a really powerful thought. Every single regenerative garden, no matter how small, is capturing carbon. It's restoring the water cycle, and it's creating an oasis for life. So what if every backyard, every patio, every 50 by 50 foot community plot that did this could become part of a massive, cumulative act of planetary restoration? It's a pretty powerful idea to grow on.